Hi, this is Assemblymember Kati Petrie-Norris. Thank you so much for joining us for this morning's Facebook Live Summer Sessions. Today we are kicking off my office's summer programming series. Throughout the summer, my office will be providing short videos, seminars, and more for families and especially for our youngest residents. Though we may be spending more time at home, we can still find ways to expand our minds, to expand our horizons, and to stay connected. Today, I am so pleased to introduce Tameka Fryer Brown, who is an author who is joining us from North Carolina. Tameka, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's exciting.
It is exciting. And as I was thinking about the fact that we're able to connect with you in North Carolina, you know, one upside of being at home and of doing so many things on Zoom is that we are able to connect with people all across the country and all over the world. And Tameka is here today. She's an accomplished award-winning author. And Tameka is going to be reading her latest book, Brown Baby Lullaby, and then answering some questions from our community. So without further ado, Tameka, please take it away.
Yes, good morning, everybody. How are you? Again, my name is Tameka Fryer Brown, and I am a picture book author. Being an author means that I write the words in the books that I publish. This is the book that I'm going to be reading with you today. It's called Brown Baby Lullaby, and it's illustrated by A.G. Ford, which means he drew these beautiful, beautiful pictures. But before we read it, how about we sing a song? I like to sing a particular song before I read this book, and it's called Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes. And if you like it, feel free to sing along, or if you know it rather. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees, and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose, head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Had a little bit of a crack there, but I love to sing that song. I used to sing that song a lot with my children. And I also like to sing it before I read this book because there's a particular page in this book that reminds me of that song. So as I read and as you're listening, see if you can figure out what page that is, okay? Let's get started. Look, mi hijo, at the sun, setting now that day is done. Moonlight's breaking, night's begun. Come, my sweet brown baby. Zoom through every open door, round the room and hit the floor. Bounce back up and zoom some more. Slow down, busy baby. He's busy, he's going all over the place. Muy activo, in you go. Hush now, here's your lovey. Oh, no, no, baby, we don't throw. No, no, antsy baby. I think he wants to get out of the playpen. Pots and pans all scattered round, right side up and upside down, clanging, banging, noisy sound, noisy, rowdy baby. Time to put the pots away, bring them out some other day. Tired tears mean no more play. Vamos, fussy baby. He's crying, think he's tired. Hands together as we bless food that will wind up a mess. That's okay, you're learning, yes? Independent baby. Can you see there? That's kind of a mess, don't you think? But he's learning. My kids used to look like that when they were eating too. Pour the cups and sink the sub. Grab a sponge to squeeze and rub. Keep some agua in the tub, silly splashy baby. Yummy tummy, kissy cheeks, tight black curls with glossy streaks, clean and fresh and toddler chic, one enchanting baby. Two brown eyes, one brown nose, 10 brown fingers, 10 brown toes. Love and cherish all of those, Poppy's brilliant baby. Rub your eyes to Coltrane's song, babble, clap, and stomp along. Fight that Sandman till he's gone, strong-willed, sleepy baby. Find your favorite book and then Mama reads it once again. Lie you down and tuck you in. Buenas noches, baby. We love you. Sweet brown baby. The end. So, you were paying attention. Do you remember? Do you think you know what book, what page reminds me of the song Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes? If you were thinking of this page, you're correct. It's the one where Daddy's cherishing his baby's 2 brown eyes and 1 brown nose and 10 brown fingers and 10 brown toes. If you were also paying attention, you heard that there were some words in the story that were in a different language other than English. Words like mi hijo and vamos and buenas noches, those words were in Spanish. And so considering the song and the language Spanish, I thought maybe we could sing the Spanish version of Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes. Cabezas, hombros, piernas, pies. So how about we sing that one together? Hopefully my voice won't crack this time. Cabeza, hombros, piernas, pies, piernas, pies. Cabeza, hombros, piernas, pies, piernas, pies. Ojos, orejas, boca y nariz. Cabeza, hombros, piernas, pies, piernas, pies. Yay. And that's the end of our story time plus singing.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Tameka. It brought back so many great memories. I feel like of when I was, when I was a little girl, my mom would read to me every night before we went to bed. And then also when my boys were now 11 and 13, every night before we went to bed, that evening story time was such an important part of our routine. So thank you so much. We have a couple of questions for you today. And before we get to some of our kids' questions, I'd just love to hear a little bit about how you started writing for children and how you got involved in this field.
Yeah, sure. Well, I was a stay-at-home mom who had previously been a sales rep and had come home, left the workforce to be a stay-at-home mom. And I had 3 children, and I loved the privilege of being able to be there with my girls. But when my youngest daughter was almost 2, I decided that it was time for me to do something in addition to being a stay-at-home mom. And so I was trying to figure out what that thing could be. And I was reading a children's book to my youngest daughter one day. And I said, I was always a good writer and enjoyed writing when I was in school. Maybe this is something I can try. And so I did. And at first, I got a lot of no's on my stories from people, publishers I was trying to sell it to, but I didn't give up. And I kept writing and I kept learning how to make my work better. And then one day I sold a book. And then now I have 5 books that I've sold, 3 that have been published. So yeah, that's how I entered the field.
That is great. And now you're an award-winning author, and you followed your passion and you turned it into something so special. I love that story. All right, well now let's go to a few questions that we have from some local kids.
What's your favorite part about being an author?
Favorite part about being a children's book author is when kids come up to tell me that they love my stories and they love my books. And when parents tell me that one of my books is their child's favorite book and they ask to read it over and over and over again, that makes me feel really good. And that's really the whole reason I write. And so, yeah, that's my very, very favorite part about being a children's book author.
That's great. And I mentioned my sons are 11 and 13, and like any mom, we will regularly start to clear up their rooms and clear up their bookshelves. But they have their handful of favorite books from literally when they were little tiny babies that they never will give away to the library book drive. Yeah. And my 11-year-old says, these are my memories. These are my childhood memories. So you're on these kids' bookshelves forever, and you're a part of their memories. All right.
Oh gosh, I get ideas in all kinds of ways. Sometimes I get them waking up from sleep, and the kind of like that twilight phase of sleep. I've gotten story ideas from that. Watching other people, just even having thoughts. My second book, called My Cold Plum Lemon Pie Bluesy Mood, I got the idea from that one day when I was just thinking to myself, Tameka, you're kind of in a mood. And then my writer's ear just said, ooh, in a mood. That would make a really good, hook for a story. So yeah, and then Brown Baby Lullaby, I got that from my memories also. One day I was thinking about when my girls, who are now pretty much all grown up, were babies, and all the wonderful memories I had, back when they were babies. And so I said, I think I want to write a book about that. So ideas come from all kinds of places.
What is one of the first books you remember connecting with as a young person?
As a young person, I really didn't own a lot of my own books, but I do remember going to my cousin's house, and they had a whole, library, I guess, full of books. And I used to read their books. A lot of them were early readers, the Seuss books and things of that nature. So I was a reader, but I don't really remember connecting with books until I was reading to my children. And we made the decision to read lots and lots and lots of books. And that's when I fell in love with the art form of picture books. And Kevin Hinke's books were among our favorite. Jacqueline Woodson books were among our favorites. So I guess besides, I don't really have that one book that I could name to say, wow, I have that memory like your kids, do, and my kids do. But I can say that just the experience of reading so many books with my own girls made me fall in love with children's books.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you want to write a story about bedtime?
Evolved that way. I set out to write a story, about brown babies, I guess, my brown babies in particular, just memories of those. And as the story evolved, it turned into a lullaby. And then, of course, when you're writing or singing a lullaby, it's when you're trying to get a child to go to sleep. So yeah, it just evolved. Stories just sometimes come like that. When you sit down to write, you have a little bit of an idea of where you want to go. But as you start writing, the story just takes you kind of wherever it takes you.
Go. Do you have a lot of author friends?
Oh, wow. I have lots and lots of author friends and illustrator friends. Because if you're trying to get better and learn things about writing and about the business of publishing, it helps to know people so that you can talk to one another, learn from one another, and support each other when, things aren't really going your way. So yeah, I do have lots of author friends.
Well, and then another question from me, what advice or what kind of tips do you have for our young readers and maybe even some young aspiring authors who find themselves at home a lot this summer?
Mm-hmm. Well, I
What
think,
can they do?
yeah. Well, they can read, right? If they have books. When I was, like I said, when I was young, I didn't have a lot of books of my own, but I loved to read. And I would read cereal boxes. I would read the TV Guide. I would read anything I could get my hands on. But a lot of people, we can't go to the library right now. But if you have a way to get online like you are today, you may be able to check out some ebooks from the library. So I would suggest doing that. And I'll drop a little nugget here. When you're checking out ebooks, try to look for diverse titles. Try to look for stories about kids that, if you're a person of color, Black or brown child, you definitely want to try to have a lot of stories that are mirrors and reflections of you. So find those. But you also want to find books about children who don't look like you, right? And so try to diversify, your reading, read different stuff than you normally do. So you can do that. And then for aspiring writers, again, write. When my girls were little, we used to get sheets of paper and staple them together, and they would write their own books, and they would draw pictures at the top, and they'd write, what was going on in the story at the bottom. Even if they couldn't spell all the words, that was okay. They would write what was going on. And before they were able to even write those letters, they would tell me what was going on in the pictures, and I would write out the words that they dictated to me. So we still have those books that we keep as mementos, and it's a wonderful memory to have. But it's also a way to kind of keep that summer slide from happening. Just being proactive about reading and writing stories to keep those imagination wheels turning.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last point I want to share with our young readers and with our parents at home is that the Orange County Library has actually done some great things to make resources available virtually and online. So as Tameka mentioned, you can check out ebooks online through the Orange County Library, and they're free, like a normal library checkout. Just need your library card, which you can also get online. And second is that they have implemented curbside pickup for most of our local libraries. So Google Orange County Library, and they've got information about all those resources. And they have brought the popular Summer Reading Challenge online and virtual as well. So sign up for the Summer Reading Challenge, they can earn badges, they can earn points, and they can get entered into contests to win exciting prizes. And I don't know about you, Tameka, but I do remember when I was a little girl, every summer, my mom and I would go to the library almost every day, and I would get my summer reading list and check it off. And you'd have your little badges and your little stars. So for kids at home who want to do that, you can still do that online virtually. So just Google Orange County Library and keep reading, keep writing, keep reading to your kids. Tameka, any parting words to the folks at home before we wrap up today?
Yeah, I would just say the same thing, as we're home this summer and we're spending time together, I would encourage parents to make it a point to use this time to do additional bonding with your children by always reading together every day. We would read afternoon and nighttime, but whatever time of day you choose, it's a perfect opportunity to just, shower your children with love, just by cuddle time and lap time and reading stories together. And so read on.
Read on. Absolutely. Well, thank you again, Tameka. It's been such a pleasure to have you here with us from North Carolina, and such a pleasure to have you as our first guest for our summer programming series for folks at home. Stay tuned. We'll be here each and every week bringing you more authors, seminars, short videos and ways to ensure that our young minds continue to grow and connect as we go through this summer together. So thank you. Be well, be safe, and stay strong.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, Tameka.